It's time to wrap things up over at the Real Housewives of Orange County. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name's Kyle. We talk about all things Bravo, all things Real Housewives, and everything in between. Go ahead and get yourself subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the content that I post. It's time to wrap things up over at the Real Housewives of Orange County. We're talking about part 2 of the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. So we pick things up where we left off last week. Shannon dropping the bomb to Bronwyn about what Bronwyn told her 14-year-old daughter while Bronwyn was wasted, saying, if you want the good stuff, text me because there's a lot of bad drugs out there. I can't believe Bronwyn said that to a 14-year-old. And then all Bronwyn could say right when that bomb dropped was, I'm sorry, I don't remember saying that. And she said it very nonchalantly, but then as that scene progresses, Bronwyn increasingly gets more and more and more emotional, and the tears come. Emily has Bronwyn's back, which is, Emily is a good friend and has been a very good friend to Bronwyn throughout all of this.
It's okay, Bronwyn, because I can tell that you're
disgusting.
Because I don't think Bronwyn owns a lot of things that she does, but I think she's owning this.
I wasn't pretty.
So Shannon, she accepts the apology because Bronwyn has done a lot of nasty things when she was drunk, and Bronwyn is owning that and apologizing, and it seems very sincere. Kelly, though, saying, you accept that? If that was my daughter, I would never. Sit down, honey. Sit down. Just accept the apology and move on. I don't think we need to continue to beat this woman over the head over something that she said when she was wasted. Do I think it was highly inappropriate? 100,000%. But I don't think we need to continue beating her over the head about this issue. She is sympathetic. She is sorry. Let's move on. So now we talk about Gina and some of her questionable hair choices. A good lighthearted shade is what we all need right now after that very deep conversation that we started the reunion with. So Gina's over here ranking her hairstyles, and these are the hairstyles that she said were the best of the season, and these are the hairstyles that she said were the worst of the season. What do y'all think about Gina's hair choices? Me personally, I think the reunion hair, Gina finally figured it out. I think she needs to stop messing with her hair choices and just let well enough alone. You've done enough damage to your hair, Gina. You've experimented, you've tried some things out, let it be. So then Andy asks all the ladies how they spent their Thanksgiving, and Shannon says that she spent it with her dad, Kelly's favorite person. And let me ask y'all this. Remember when Kelly said this to Shannon's dad?
Dad.
Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati, right here.
my God!
Is it appropriate to call someone's father Big Dick Daddy? Comment below. Let a bitch know. I think it's highly inappropriate. That's just my opinion, though. So now we go over and we talk about Gina'S new relationship with Travis and her co-parenting with her ex-husband, Matt. And she's still very much in the thick of the legal battles after what happened last season when he physically abused her. So she pressed charges against him for domestic violence, and she's very much in the middle of those legal battles, and he's potentially facing jail time. And it's all just very sad because Gina says that she has a very hard time sticking up for herself and saying what is right and what is wrong and saying how she deserves to be treated. So she's having a really hard time coming to terms with that, which is just very sad. Gina is such a big person. She's willing to put all of her differences aside and move forward for her kids to have somewhat of a normal family unit, and you just have to commend her for that. That is like 100% being the bigger person. So after all of these things are mentioned, the ladies take a pee break, and y'all, Bronwyn is not taking what she said to Shannon's daughter very well at all. But Emily, though, I said it earlier and I'll say it again, is being a very supportive friend.
I've done things, I've said things, we all have. And you know what? That was a thing to do. And that's something that you'll never do again. Never.
From someone that no longer drinks, that abused alcohol, I understand where Bronwyn is coming from. Personally, from someone who abused alcohol, I have said some shitty things. I've said some awful things, I've done some shitty things, and I've done some awful things. I get it. I see where Bronwyn is coming from. She was wasted when she said it. She doesn't remember. She did some pretty shitty things, and now she's coming to terms with her behavior while she drank. I get it. So, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Let's not beat this woman over the head about an action that she took when she drank. And this is coming from someone who did drink and abuse alcohol. Do not do that. Don't. Can we say that she's a shitty person and self-involved and has done some pretty shitty things in her marriage? Yes. And we'll get to that later. But what she said when she drank, let it go. She apologized. Shannon accepted the apology. Move on. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Thank you very much. But Shannon, oh my God. Shannon and the damn frickin' duct tape.
You need to find me
Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. I do not understand. Is that a thing with Shannon? The duct tape? Like, are Spanx not good enough? It looks very painful. Going on and coming off. There, I said it. So I need to address the elephant in the room, y'all. So all of the ladies, they are taking a pee break. They got up and left the stage. Not a single mask was worn. I don't understand. Aren't they supposed to be following COVID rules? I remember when RHOC had the very first in-person reunion when it was safe to meet in person when they had very strict COVID rules. And Andy made all of the ladies put on their masks even if they stood up and got out of their chair. So like the fact that no one's wearing a mask, barely at all, and they're all fucking bitching and moaning about it too. Like I hate it and it makes my blood boil. That's all I got for you. So now let's talk about COVID Kelly and all of the shitty, hurtful things that came out of her mouth and all of her shitty and awful actions. So Kelly had her COVID wedding and then compared her wedding to the Black Lives Matter protests, saying, well, you know, I got so much shit for having a wedding, but yet what about all the protests? You can't compare the two, you dumb psycho. They are two completely different things. Your wedding and protesting for social injustice are not equal. They are not equal at all. Get that through your dumbass head, psycho.
Psycho.
And then we have to talk about Kelly wearing the Drunk Wives Matter hat. Yeah, a good portion of this reunion was very political. So if this ain't your thing, sorry about it. Just leave. Just leave and save your breath and do not comment because I don't want to hear about it. We are just recapping the reunion and what happened. Also, I support the Black Lives Matter movement. Thank you very much. So Kelly says that her friend gave her the hat and that because Kelly didn't directly purchase the hat, that means that she, doesn't support what the message on the hat says and she was just merely putting it on for fun and trying things on. I mean, Kelly, you took a selfie wearing a hat and posted it on your social media. Obviously, you supported in some way what that hat stood for and knew that it was directly in correlation with the Black Lives Matter movement going on. What other way were we supposed to take that? You are so tone deaf about everything. So here's the thing. Kelly says that she wasn't being malicious or trying to be offensive. Which, I mean, she probably wasn't. All right? She probably was not trying to be mean and didn't even think that it was offensive, because that is just who Kelly is. I get it. It's the tone deafness for me. That's the problem. Like, bitch, read the room. Probably not a good idea to throw on a Drunk Wives Matter hat while the Black Lives Matter social injustice moving protests are going on. Read the room. Why are you so tone deaf? Why can't you understand that? That's my problem here. It's not the fact that she might have not thought that it was offensive and she wasn't doing it to be malicious. That's not my problem. It's the fact that you can't be self-aware and understand your actions. And by you putting on that hat, you're putting out a message to your supporters that making light of something like that, it's completely fine. And that right there, my friends, that is my problem with Coveted Kelly. Then Kelly turned to Bronwyn and says that Bronwyn doesn't do anything for black people and doesn't support black people at all. And brings up that Bronwyn had a professional photographer at these protests that Bronwyn went to, and she's out here posing and taking pictures. I mean, where's the lie? And everyone sort of is in agreement that Bronwyn is only out here protesting because she was woke and it was trending. And then Kelly says that Bronwyn is out here pointing fingers at the other ladies, saying they don't care about the Black Lives Matter. And that really just made so much shit explode. But Emily is right. I feel like a lot of the ladies, and I'm saying this loosely, all right? Very vaguely, very loosely, like, take it with a grain of salt. Emily is right. They may support the social injustice. They're just not putting it out there on social media, and they're doing a lot of it behind the scenes. I mean, but that's what Bronwyn does. She does stuff for attention. I mean, you can't say that that isn't true, because it's true. Bronwyn does so much stuff for Bronwyn and to get the attention out of everything that she does. There, I said it. Like, you can't say that that's not true, because it's true. But then Bronwyn turns to Kelly and says that you're sending me racist text messages, which then prompts Kelly to say this.
Kelly, I'm black!
And I'm gonna just break this down and say what we're all thinking, all right? Just because you have a percentage of African American in your genes because you decided on a whim to do a 21andMe test does not make you black, you dumb bitch. Like, you don't even identify as being African American. And just last season, weren't you Mexican? Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. You can't be out here crying marginalized community when one minute you're Mexican and the next minute you're black. Sit down, hunty. Sit down. So then the ladies turn to Bronwyn and say that Bronwyn has accused the other cast members of being racist and homophobic because of an interview that Bronwyn did on ET. And Bronwyn said, and I quote, "There's no one on the cast that I can turn to talk about my beliefs about Black Lives Matter and the LGBTQ community."
Or Black Lives
Did you ever
Matter.
ask me?
And I said no.
Huh?
You
No,
asked
you
me.
didn't.
I
That
didn't.
is very try.
This
Why?
is you're almost okay. One at a time.
Whoa. So apparently Emily went with Bronwyn to Bronwyn's son's first drag show. So I say that's pretty supportive.
Hi, Jakey.
But then we make a turn, and Kelly said that having sex with a woman is the same as eating raw tuna.
Sure you don't want to eat this nice tuna? I'm sure you're familiar with the smell.
That's rude, Kelly.
That's kind of rude, but oh my God.
If your vagina smells like tuna, you need to go to the doctor.
And then Elizabeth drops the bomb that she's bisexual.
I'm bi, but whatever. I don't make a big deal out of it. I don't need to make it a spectacle.
Yeah, a lot of things kind of spiraled and we went a lot of different directions really quickly. Bronwyn, though, thought Elizabeth was a lesbian when she first met her and tried to kiss Elizabeth. But y'all, that awkward smile from Elizabeth, I'm done. That was classic. But here comes Gina, though, with the humor.
Always identified as bisexual?
100%. But I don't practice it because
What is it, a violin?
But like at the same time, I get where Elizabeth is coming from, and it should not be a big deal. But at the end of the day, like, I get it. I can see where Elizabeth is coming from. It doesn't need to be a big deal, and it doesn't need to be a huge spectacle. It is what it is. Love who you love. Why do we need to constantly explain to everyone and put ourselves in some, like, societal box? Like, seriously. Make it make sense. Like, Elizabeth is bisexual. Bronwyn is a lesbian. Why do we need to constantly put people in boxes and make it make sense? But, like, I see where Elizabeth is coming from. She's bisexual, but why does she need to hop up on a pedestal and be, I'm bisexual, world, look at me, look at me? That's just my opinion. So now let's talk about Elizabeth growing up in the religious cult. Elizabeth is very upset because she didn't even want this shown on the show at all. But like, newsflash, you're on a reality show, so it's bound to come out. There, I said it. So she says that she only brought it up because the ladies thought she was lying. So she has extreme PTSD from what she grew up in. So she says her grandmother was the founder of the cult and her father was the head pastor. Y'all, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And this whole cult was founded for money and greed. Which, I mean, aren't they all? I wonder if Mary from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was part of the cult. I'm just saying. So Elizabeth then mentions that she likes her cookie cutter perfect life with cars and diamonds because no one will question her. No one will question her, and she can hide that side of her life so no one tries to dig. But all the ladies are kind of like in agreement that they like this vulnerable side of Elizabeth because it makes her real and makes her relatable. But then Elizabeth ends her story with saying that she's a survivor, not a victim. And that is powerful. And she also says that she brings this up because she wants to be able to help other people that are going through something similar as what she went through. So, good for you, Elizabeth. I mean, I know you didn't want it on the show, but it's out there now. And I think by you sharing that, it's very powerful. And I think we all kind of related to you on a much deeper level. So, I'm happy that you shared your story with us. So now it's time to bring out Sean. And Shannon's very confused. Y'all, I literally died.
Bringing who out?
Sean.
Who's Sean?
Sean is Bronwyn's husband.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So now we're gonna unload Bronwyn's marriage with Sean. It's a lot, y'all. So now Sean is out here sitting next to Bronwyn. They're holding hands, and Bronwyn says that she's never been physically attracted to men. She's never even been physically attracted to Sean. Y'all, I can't make this up. So she finally said it. She fell in love with Shari, and Shari wanted Bronwyn to leave Sean to be with her, and then Gina asks a very fair question.
Oh, Shari is a lesbian?
No.
So Shari...
Just, we had a thing.
I'm so confused. So Shari isn't a lesbian, but they're in love, and I'm just... whatever. I guess it is what it is. So, it gets crazy, y'all. Bronwyn wants to have an open relationship because she's a lesbian now. So she wants to have this open relationship with Sean. Which, I mean, whatever, do the fuck what you want. It's not my life. So they had this conversation about having an open marriage, and Sean has a woman over, and Bronwyn freaked out. And this is straight facts. So it's perfectly okay for Bronwyn to be a lesbian and see other people, but when Sean does it, it's not okay. That ain't right, y'all. That ain't right. Elizabeth for the win.
I have a good divorce lawyer.
I don't want a divorce.
Of course not.
I know, but he might.
It's so dysfunctional and confusing, and I don't understand it, and I never will, and it's their life, and it's not mine, and I guess do whatever you want to do to make yourself happy. Who am I to judge at the end of the day? But it's very self-involved, and it's very selfish, the fact that Bronwyn can do whatever she wants to do, but when Sean does it, it's a huge problem. That is my issue. Like, if you want to have an open relationship, go and have an open relationship. But the fact that you can do something, but your husband can't do the same damn thing, that's where the issue lies. It's very hypocritical. You are a hypocrite. Am I wrong? Like, am I wrong? So Bronwyn now has a girlfriend. Her name is Chris, and Sean is just supposed to bend over and take it. It's totally one-sided. What are the rules? It's only about Bronwyn. She does what Bronwyn wants to do, and Sean just needs to bend over and take it and take care of her and open up his pocketbook. There, I said it. It pretty much looks that way. Sean, dude, get out while you can. She isn't attracted to you. She physically assaulted you. She slapped you across the face multiple times. In what universe is that okay? I don't like Bronwyn. There, I said it. She casually abuses her husband, acts as if nothing is wrong. She's self-involved. She's selfish. She's manipulative. She is a narcissist. She is one-sided and does whatever Bronwyn wants to do and whatever fits her needs. And everyone else, it's just they're living in her world and they just need to bend over and take it. That ain't right. You have 7 kids and you have a husband and you want to stay married and you want to have your cake and you want to eat it too. Girlfriend, 7 kids, husband, and now you're like, I'm a lesbian now and I'm sober and I'm gonna live my life and I need to be selfish and me. What are you doing? God. That's all I have to say about Bronwyn. So let's wrap this shit up. So in true reunion fashion, we have a toast. So all of the ladies go around and they talk and share about something that they've learned during the past year. So Kelly goes first and she says that she learned to not live in fear because of COVID. Here's what. It's not about living in fear. It's not. It's about living responsibly, all right? Living responsibly during a global pandemic. And that's that on that, y'all. I think I made it pretty clear where I stand on Bronwyn and where I stand on Miss COVID Kelly. So let's end this season of The Real Housewives of Orange County with Andy Cohen falling.
Back.
Wow. Oh, God. I mean, I haven't stood up.
I feel like it's a perfect visual representation of how The Real Housewives of Orange County season 15 went. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Fire everyone, keep Gina. And that's a wrap, y'all. What did you think of The Real Housewives of Orange County season 15 reunion? Comment below. What did y'all think of The Real Housewives of Orange County season 15 as a whole? Comment below. If you love Bravo, if you love Real Housewives, if you love Real Housewives reviews, if you love me, go ahead and get subscribed to my channel. If you're viewing this video, you know you love it. So why not subscribe? Then you never miss out on anything. So if you've made it through the entire review, thank you so much. Go ahead and comment orange below. Orange. Comment the word orange to let me know that you finished it. Get subscribed. And that's a wrap for The Real Housewives of Orange County. Let's put season 15 behind us and move on and bring back Tamra Judge. That's all I've got, guys. Get subscribed. We'll talk later. Bye-bye. I'm out.